First, first of all, I think his personal life has nothing to do with him making a valid point in the last clip. First of all, let me just start off by saying that okay, a clock is wrong. Is what is a clock is right twice a day, whatever they say.
Mm-hmm.
You get it, okay? This is what I'm saying here.
Andre, who you fighting with right now?
Because I'm actually referring to Sweeney right now.
Why?
I know she would. No, I did. I said, look at this is the person that we just heard say she owned to something. Go ahead, Andrea.
All I'm saying is this. Because it's like, sometimes Charleston makes really valid points, but that doesn't mean his personal life is just perfect, So I don't think it's right for either ones to cheat. I don't think it's okay for either partner to cheat, a woman or a man. I don't think it's okay to cheat. And I think that this is why I say it's nothing wrong with a little sprinkle of toxic so you're not so bored. That's the reason why they're sitting in the bed doing the same moves all the time, because they're so bored. There's no spontaneous, pick a random fight, something like that. Make up a little later on, in the car, somewhere like that. You need a little spice in your life. That's why I said it's a little toxic, little sprinkle of toxic. Keep them guessing, You never know what's going to come,
So makeup sex.
Yeah.
What are some of the signs that a woman is like faking it, a bored?
You'll never know.
I was about to say, fuck if I know.
I was asking the women. If they heard any stories or.
Yeah, what do you do when you fake it?
They say that 80%, it's about 70 to 80% of women never really orgasm.
It was a question on the post to the panel. Is it, if anybody willing to volunteer any information?
Yeah. That's what I'm. Yeah, can you hear me?
What are some of the things that men should look for when a woman is faking it?
Faking sex?
Yes, I'm just faking it, or they bored.
Faking what? Like
an orgasm?
Faking enjoyment in the sex. She's not orgasming. She's not enjoying it, but she's faking it. How could he?
Sweeney, they know what he has.
All right, come on, man.
But never. No, most women don't orgasm anyways. We're all faking. Don't you get it?
Vaginally, yeah, that's true.
Are you laughing, lady, because you know it's true?
Yeah, the percent's low.
How she said it was funny.
Yo, well, fuck it. I'll give y'all one then. So I know my wife start faking when it's starting to get too long, and she start making oh babe, like she be talking too much. I'm like, nigga, shut up, nigga. Like you start talking as much at the minute 45. I know what you're trying to do. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, when the lubrication's down, that's when you have
that's
some issues right there. That's a good one right there.
Yeah, I'm saying the tricks. You know what I'm saying? She be oh, shut up. You know what I'm saying? So
I'll be real. My wife don't have to fake. She straight up tell me, hurry up, man. Come on now. Let's get this over with. I know you only in it for your quick nut. Let's go ahead and get this over with so I can go to bed. She ain't got to fake it for me because I already know what time we on. You probably not going to get one off this time. This is all for me.
you have your hands like this too, Sweeney?
This is all for me.
So, I kind of want to say this. Like, I think that sometimes we try to push everybody together, right? And I would say that there's a jar of women who who think like what he's describing. But I mean, there's a lot of women who don't, right? Like, let's just take an example for like what Hemp just brought up, right? You said the women, they feel like it's 50% of Gen Zers who have an OnlyFans, right? Okay, so let's just say it's 2.1 million users, right? Which there's 300 million people in America, which there's 30% of them are Gen Z. So there's no way that could be the case. But it feels like that just because of what environment that we're in. And that's one of the things we have to describe. Just like how we tell women, you have to be intentional about it. Where are you sourcing your women from? What are you looking at? What attributes are you looking for? Are you more focused on beauty, or are you more focused on virtue, right? Where do you go to source your women? Do you go out to nightclubs and try to find them there? Like, what are you doing? Where are you finding them? Because what I'm saying is that's not my experience all the time. Like, I run into women who don't behave like that. There's some women that I know that haven't been with anybody outside of their husband. And that's real. There's a lot of people. Like, I understand that it's very different when you're in major cities. That's a big deal. But there's some virtuous women out here. Maybe they're far and rare, but if you on your game, you're probably likely to attract one of them. But to get on to his other point, I definitely want to say that judgment definitely plays a factor, because one of my strategies that I used to use, like like our first meeting, date, whatever meetup it was where we got together, was I would just say a whole bunch of wild stuff about myself. And once the female realizes that, that this dude ain't got no chill, he all over the place, then they start getting real comfortable. A lot of, like I said, I had our first meeting. We talking about what type of adult film she like. It don't matter. Like, once they realize you're not going to judge them and you don't react when they say something, because they'll test you. They'll say something and then you act like nothing happened, or you say something that you did that was even more egregious. Fine. You're going to get a lot out of her. You know exactly what it is. And they're not going to care. They're going to be like, okay. Or if you could present yourself as a F-boy, you're going to get good results, because they understand, okay, this guy not even serious. I'm just going to go ahead and smash this dude, and then I'm going to keep it moving. So that's the whole thing. But that same woman could turn around and then try to be whatever she thinks that this guy that she wants to obtain needs to be. So if she thinks this guy wants a more virtuous woman, she might present herself in that fashion just because she realized that's how she could snag that guy. So, and like he said, some of these females, they'll have like a dude and they'll go right out and do what they want to do. Won't even clean up or nothing. Come right back to you like nothing happened. They called it assassins half the time. So yeah, you have to be careful, and you have to understand how to discern these different types of women, because if you don't, you're gonna be in some deep trouble. You're gonna get your feelings hurt.
I would say to Trev, there's some so-called virtuous women who will cheat on their husband even if that was their first partner. So I would say get someone that understands like the value of marriage and biblically speaking, biblically sound, and then maybe that won't happen. But I've seen and heard women that just have sex with their man and they go out and cheat and have other desires too.
Yeah, I can understand that, but I wouldn't necessarily go biblical, because I've spent a lot of time in church. I grew up in the church, and let me tell you something. Some of them females up in there, man, gave me the best experiences that I could talk about. So we, church, listen, you'll have women that will know how to play the part in church, but and especially don't let you get the pastor's daughter, man. It's over.
Well, Trev, I think the key is she said biblical, not church. Those are two different things, obviously, in this day and age. Yeah. But in terms of JR, is it my turn?
No, go ahead.
In terms of what's scrolling, I was just thinking when Trev was talking, the young boys, I would say if they caught a 35-year-old woman and she had 30 bodies, I would assume that's average. You think I'm bugging?
Nah. I mean, well, that's only because there's a couple women who had like 200. You know what I'm saying? I had a chick on my show the other week that told me she had 3,000. I'm like, okay. So, yeah, it's bad out here, and I understand it. The ones who getting it in, they starting at like 12. Like someone said it earlier, middle school. So your average is going to be up crazy.
But even if you start at like a regular age, like 17, 16, right? Let's say she is dating two cats a year, okay, right? Getting she's sliding. She might have that phase where it's a 2 or 3. She might have a boyfriend for 2 years. So the number doesn't seem like it's far-fetched if somebody just regularly dating, not even wilding. You know what I'm saying? If you start having sex at 16, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's not far-fetched. I think that a lot of that is what's out there. It wouldn't be for me, because I understand what happens to women emotionally when they deal with that. And that's not something that I would want to be bothered with ever. But I understand that that's what's available for most people.
For ages 30 to 34, among women, 22% had 0 to 1 sexual partners, 31% had 2 to 4, 25% had 5 to 9, and only 22% had 10 plus partners. Amongst men, which I find is surprising, 17% had 0 to 1 partners, 21% had 2 to 4, 20% had 5 to 9, and 42% of men between the ages of 30 and 34 had 10 plus partners.
Sweeney. Did you add the J. Cole
Yeah,
effect?
yearly.
Yeah, but you have to multiply. J. Cole already
Yeah.
told us on Forestville Drive, you multiply by 3, so you know them stats don't mean anything. See, you gotta incorporate the truth in there. Come on. You
I'm
sniggity know the vibes.
I can only go because I think a lot more people are
I
more
know,
honest
but
when you're
it's
talking
J.
about
Cole we talking about.
clothes.
It's Cole.
This
though.
ain't like you going to ask her how many bodies you got. She got to tell you. This is them. That when people tend to be more honest when they're answering a survey that's more anonymous and things like that than they are talking to somebody who they trying to get with.
I don't think men
Yeah,
should
because
ask
you'd have to be
no
doing some
lady.
serious trolling.
I'm
Don't
confused.
ask no lady they body count.
I think I'm trying to figure out what is the point that we're making by talking about body count and cheating. Like, what is the point? Please help me understand.
No, that
I
wasn't
don't
synonymous with cheating. What I was saying was the similarity in thought, right? And so when men are averaging, a certain amount of bodies, so aren't the women, because I'm looking at the question that's scrolling in terms of having a similar mindset. So I'm thinking about the sex aspect, where I'm thinking men and women, a man that's doing his thing, they average about the same amount of bodies in terms of being similar.